Okay, so here is the solution. We have a particular vector here. We have the x equals 1, the -1, the 3, and the 0, and then the coefficients of w, no coefficient there, 1, -1, and 1 for the last one here. Okay, but we should go and check whether or not this at least this one satisfies these equations. Well, this is 1, -1, and 3. Well, this is x, y doesn't appear in the first equation, so it's just 2 plus 3 is 5, -1, we're letting w be 0 for the particular, so -1, that matches. Then 3 plus 3 minus 3 is 0, so that works for the third line. And then for the third equation, then this one's going to be 4 minus 1 is 3 plus 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. So at least the particular solution works, right? You could also say, try one other solution where you let w equals 1 and then see whether 1, 0, 2, 1 was a solution. And then if something was wrong here, that would probably show up in one of these. So therefore, you can check that. You should at least check that a couple of values in this kind of thing are actual solutions. Well, and this is the writing. The words I put in here are sort of the kind of words you want to use in the assignment when you do this, because you want to sort of like describe what you're doing, so that instead of just writing the math down, you can see that there's a clear distinction between math stuff and text mode, where you're writing sort of descriptions of what you're doing and why certain things happen, but you don't have to give the algebra. It's more I'm assuming you're going to do the algebra. And okay. So we're about out of time. Oh, and then you want to also, when you do this, you can check the double I's, and it will show you what it looks like at the end, that it's not running over the edge of the page, and you can see that it looks nice. But then if you want, that goes some weird place. So if you want to actually get the PDF, you want to export as PDF LaTeX, and that is going to save it. Because I haven't saved this file, it's going to save it essentially in the same place where I opened it. So if you have a LIX file saved in some particular place, when you do export, it will save the PDF to the same place. Then on the assignment, that's what you're actually going to turn in, is the PDF, and then I will score it and put it back on Piazza. As for those of you who are assignment 0, you've seen that that's what I do, so that then you can check and see if your score is reasonable, and whether you whether at some point you'll want to attempt like the second version of assignment 1, or whether you've aced it and you don't have to. Well, if you get a reasonable score, because it's like 5 points, if you get even an 80, that's probably pretty good. You may not need to redo that even to get an A. So, because it takes a lot of work, to do one of these assignments. And also, just in case, if you've had this course before, assignment 1 is different than the previous one. There's some extra problems at the beginning, so it takes will take a little bit more effort on your part to. If the first 5 are sort of relatively straightforward, they're meant as sort of like learning how to do it, and the last 5 are a little bit more, larger scale. So do look at the problems. Don't wait until Saturday or Sunday to start doing the problems. Look at them now. See if you can do the first 5, and then ask questions about them in office hours or whatever. Anyway, any last questions?